Now, let's get on with it. Well, sitting in the camp trailer. Got the little heater going, set at 73 degrees. All right, currently the temperature right now inside the camp trailer is 66 degrees. The sun went down about 30, 40 minutes ago, right? And now it's going to start getting cold. The outside ambient temperature when the sun went down was the high of the day was 65. All right, we are currently at right here, you know what I'm saying, 5,684 feet in elevation above sea level. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the last couple of days of September. October's coming, right? Fall is here, right? The days have been relatively still warm a little bit with, you know, with a good, you know, southerly, south and north wind, you know, averaging about 10, 15 miles an hour, right? But in the nighttime right now, especially this time right now, like about an hour or so after sunset, you know what I'm saying, it really starts to get cold. The wind slows down a little bit. Some nights it doesn't, some nights it picks up, right? You know what I'm saying? But the wind slows down and it kind of like evens out, and it slowly gets colder and colder and colder to like about an hour or so before sunrise, which is where at our coldest temperature this morning, it was 29 degrees. Now, I know a lot of you live, you know, east, north, southwest. Everybody's used to dealing with winter and all that stuff. But this is a Stoner 101 video. This video is for homesteaders that are stoners and stoners that are homesteaders that are just barely starting out and trying to get it going on. Right now, I've lived in a few camp trailers. You know what I'm saying? I have a playlist called Tiny House Off-Grid Living, where me and Margaret lived in a camper, an actual, you know, dually ton camper, right? And there's only, yeah, it's a small little list, but you know, we were just barely starting out. Still a little hot. Right? So, some of the stuff that I'm going to talk about in this series, you know what I'm saying, you know, is related to just barely starting out and saying you're living in a fifth wheel, you're living in a camp trailer, you know what I'm saying, you got your little tiny, you know, one of those Walmart sheds that you built up or something, and you know, and you set up, you know what I'm saying, late in spring, and you made it through summer, you know, you got a little bit of stuff going on, you did a little work to your, you know, to your primary residence, right, and you think that you're ready, right, for winter. Now, winter in the city is way different. It's easy to get warm. You just go inside the store. Right? If you got a house, you go inside the house. Right? I'm saying it's not that hard. Right? But when you live out in the country, I'm saying the biomechanical systems are different. Out here, right, you got electricity, you got wood, you got propane. You know what I'm saying? That's about it. Right? For heat. Right? The vast majority of people out here, like in the house, we got 2 pellet stoves. You know what a pellet stove is? Look it up. Pellet stove. Burns little tiny wood pellets. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take probably at least 2 tons of pellets, right, for mom to make it through the winter, right, in the house, burning her pellet stove. And that's only burning one of her pellet stoves. Right? Now, I'm waiting right now. I got the trailer all ready to go. Just go over and pick it up. Somebody from the church is donating, right, you know what I'm saying, 2 tons of pellets to Marlene for the winter, right? So I'm waiting to go get it, right? Now that's her energy consumption for the winter, right? Is the pellets, right? Because the propane is, you know, she doesn't use propane, right? I don't even think there's a big tank around here somewhere, right? I mean, it hasn't been used in a long time because she uses electricity for the stove, you know what I'm saying, and all the kitchen devices, right? The water heater is also electric, right? Power out here is relatively cheap. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of solar panels making a lot of power. Right now, out here in the camp trailer, right, since we're connected over there to the shop building on a 30 amp, you know, on a 30 amp cord, right? You know what I'm saying? Actually, 2 of them connected, you know what I'm saying? Because we're pretty far away, right? We're running off a breaker over there, off a 110 breaker all on its own. It's just us running off that breaker. I switched the wiring around to make it work that way. Now with the little heater right here, this little heater, it's a 1200 or 1200/1500 watt, you know, electric heater. When that thing's running, it's pulling a little bit of a draw through the wiring in this trailer because it's plugged into the socket. The trailer itself is plugged into the wire. You know what I'm saying? Okay, now with this lamp, this 110 lamp, right, with a 60 watt bulb that I'm using right here for lighting, right, that's the only thing that's running right now in the trailer is the little heater and that light. And we don't have either the little fans running, none of the lights are turned on, anything. Right? And so now, if I was to do anything else, right, tonight, right, this would be warm enough for me in the morning. When I would wake up in the morning, the ambient air temperature outside is going to be somewhere in the high 20s or the low 30s. You know what I'm saying? But in here, it would be relatively warm, somewhere in the mid 50s. You know what I'm saying? Low to mid 50s. Right? Now, let's say between 50 and 60 degrees. Right? This is a good size little camp trailer. It's a 24-footer. It's a standard size. The bedroom's back there. This is the salon with the little kitchen area and the door in the middle. We got a big window here. We got a little window here. A little window right in front of the kitchen. There's a big window behind me. Then there's two big windows in the back along the sides. Now, the windows seal pretty good, right, for this little camp trailer. They really do. Right now, it's fairly warm. You know what I'm saying? It's not too bad. Doing pretty good. Right now, what I intend on doing in the next coming days, you know what I'm saying, is I intend on, putting up some plastic on the outside of the windows, you know what I'm saying, to stop the little bit of leakage that does get through, Stop that, because it's going to be cold air. I'm also going to go through all the little cabinets down here underneath. All the little cabinets, you know what I'm saying, behind the fridge, because they took out the original refrigerator, right, and they put in a little one, so there's a big hole right there. I'm going to put some more insulation up in there. I'm going to do some more in the bathroom. Right here behind me where this window is, I'm going to, from the outside, I'm going to lift up the lid. I'm going to cover it with plastic, close down the lid. Right, remember, I already sealed the hole in the bathroom roof, right, with the sink. Remember, I did that video, fixing the roof with the kitchen sink, right? Okay, the door is already pretty much well sealed. Once I put the plastic up on the outside in conjunction with the skirting all the way around, you know what I'm saying, the little camp trailer is going to stay pretty much airtight and sealed, for the duration of the winter. All right, so whatever heat that we generate in here during the day, you know what I'm saying, is basically the heat that's going to stay in here the whole day and most of the night. Because we have a pattern, me and Teresa have a pattern of turning the little heater down to like around 66, 65 degrees, so it's not working so hard and it stays on low on the 1200, so we don't burn up as much power at the same time. Right? Now, there are a couple other tricks to do for the inside. You know what I'm saying? And I'll get to those. Right? I just want to talk about them right now, you know what I'm saying? But I'll make the video, you know what I'm saying, when I make the, when I do the gig. Right? One of the things that you can do is you can make curtains for the inside that are thick, good, heavy drapes. You know what I'm saying? And like, you have this awning right there, this piece right here, right? You take the blinds down, you know what I'm saying, and you use the rod across, you know what I'm saying, or you can, just thumbtack them up, right? You know what I'm saying? With good set of push pins, you know what I'm saying, the good, thick, heavy material curtains, right? You know what I'm saying? That also goes to blocking any leakage that leaks in, past the plastic. Right? Keeps you, holds them. You just need to, spread them open during the daytime to get some light inside. Because light from the sun in the wintertime is your source of heat when you live out here in the camp trailer. Right? There's another thing that you can do that we, over in this big motorhome bus, when we moved some Teresa's stuff, we brought all the rugs from the little camp trailer in the back. You could also put rugs, area rugs, square little floor mat rugs down on the floor after you skirted the trailer, you know what I'm saying? And that will keep the coldness from the air trapped underneath from getting through the floor, because the floor will radiate cold air. This floor in the morning is sometimes cold because it's all linoleum, right? And it's pretty thin. Remember, it's a camp trailer, right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go get the rugs. I'm going to roll them out. We got one real long one to cover the whole distance between here and where the linoleum ends over there right in front of the big bed. It's saying to cover that whole hallway floor right there. Then we got another one for the door. Then we got a couple more for this area right here. You know what I'm saying? That'll take the chill out of the floor, out of the cold, out of the air down low in the morning. Right? It's a good thing, you know what I'm saying, to use the LED light bulbs, right, and the efficiency light bulbs in all of your appliances that use a light bulb, you know what I'm saying, because they do save power. I proved this to myself when me and Margaret lived in a little apartment, you know what I'm saying, over on 12th Avenue, when we replaced, it cost us $78, but we replaced every light bulb in the little apartment with them, you know, efficiency LED light bulbs. And our power bill went on an average of like $80 a month down to like $25 just from the lights. And it was, you know, and I'm serious, right? Yes, it's a good idea to replace all of the light bulbs in your camp trailer, especially, you know, if you rely on the 12-volt DC lights. You know, saying plug in a couple of LED lights and the light fixtures in the back. Right here, there's two right here. You know what I'm saying, right? To try to cut down on the power usage, and because they use less power, so it's not going to be any big draw. So when you do run the little heater and you flip on a light. But otherwise, you're running on the DC lights, you're running on the battery, and in the wintertime, the battery could, you know, any day, you could wake up and the battery could be totally dead because it's discharged from the coal. And you got no power, right? So you want to be mindful, you want to know that you have two different power sources. You could also, right, some people will do this, and a lot of people have, you can either set up solar panel on the roof, or you can set up a couple solar panels out on the ground somewhere, and connect it in to keep your battery charged up. Right, charge controller and the wiring and all the kits and all that stuff are relatively expensive these days, right? And you could get the whole setup and have your whole camp trailer running on solar power, you know what I'm saying, including the little 1,500 watt little heater, you know what I'm saying, for relatively, you know, under $1,000. $700, you know what I'm saying, if you want to get some of Tesla's solar panels, which I recommend. and their wall battery is a good investment too, right? You know what I'm saying? And all of these things, right, you know what I'm saying, when you're first starting out, I mean, damn, Brian, you're talking about spending money, bro. No. The only thing that I talked about in the last 15 minutes that cost you any money, right, is the solar panels in the wall battery from Tesla. Everything else you can do yourself. The curtains you can make from material, beach towels. You know what I'm saying? And right? I mean, old clothing, t-shirts. You got nothing but time, bro. It's dark outside, it's cold. You're not going outside. You can sit here and sew for an hour. Right? Your old lady could, you know, hook up some shit over there. Right? You know what I'm saying? And that's how Idaho Hillbilly Miss Kitty did it. Right? And they're still low level like me. They're still only getting 400 or 500 views of video themselves. And they've been at it as long as I have. You know what I'm saying? I've gone up and down, up and down. I'm barely right now starting to climb again. You know what I'm saying? But all of the stuff that they did out there on the side of that mountain in Idaho, you know what I'm saying? It's brought them to where they're at. All the stuff that I've done in all of my videos, it's brought me to where I'm at in this, you know, endeavor that we call YouTube creator. All right? Anyways, I'm saying that, you know, that's an overview of what the coming, you know, couple of videos are going to be about. You know what I'm saying? About, you know, winterizing the inside, the interior of the little camp trailer so that we stay relatively warm. Because right now, Teresa's staying inside the house with Mom because she just had her surgery on her leg. Right? Mom's not doing, you know, she's doing good, but she can't get around, you know what I'm saying? And when she does try to get around, she hurts herself. You know what I'm saying? So Teresa's been staying in the house with Mom, so it's me and the kitties out here at night. Right? And believe me, Jackson, I ain't freezing my ass off, right? You know what I'm saying? For nobody. Ain't happening, Jackson. So please stay tuned and like and subscribe. Share this video if you think other people should be, you know, should know about it. Right? Right? Because, dude, I got some shit going on in the next few, you know, episodes. It just might be interesting. Thank you.